All right, a little longer video on the second rule that's most commonly broken when you're understanding healing and all of medicine is that once you've abided by and utilized and listened to and finally took action on rule number one, the biggest rule mostly broken, which was the rule of slowing. When symptoms arise or injuries arise, you will have to have self-administered slow. And here's the kicker. During this period of time in your level of medicine, whatever it's going to be, you're going to be slow in many things. Slow in movement, slow in nourishment, slow in relationships, slow in purpose, intention, slow in social responsibility, slow in, who gets your attention. You'll have to figure out how to slow all that down based on your specific unique expression of whatever it may be, whatever your body is showing you. Slowing is going to be a big portion of it. Could be for a few hours, could be for a few years. It's for you to learn and understand, and you're going to be at a pace and at a characteristic style that's yours and yours alone, never before been seen. Even if you were to recreate the same symptoms or same injuries years later, it's going to be a completely different scenario for you. So once you've abided by that rule and seen why you were to go back through stages of development, what you were to learn when you slowed. I mean, even think just if you were a tutor or a teacher of any kind, or you learned gymnastic steps, or you learned music, or you learned piano, you always hear from good coaches and instructors, go slow. Do it slow. Do it slow. Gymnastics, you'd see flow routines in super slow motion. Chord progressions and steps and tabs, and go slow for a year, right? Like, what do you see when you go slow? It's no different in all that you're going to see and understand and communicate between you and your body when you have symptoms and injuries. Now, after you've abided by that, and you're not going to break that rule too often, and if you do break it, you're totally going to be on call as, okay, body, I totally completely shut this one down. It's you and me. I totally know where you're going to go next and what you're going to do. Of course you responded that way. You and I are in agreement. I don't have to complain to anybody else. I don't have to go see somebody about it. You and I are on the same page. We're listening to each other. So you might break rule number one, but it's going to be an ownership. It's not going to be this, I don't know why my body, I don't know. I didn't know it was going to take this long. Everybody's telling me to do this in 27 days and this in 4 months, and this surgery takes 9 months, and no more of that. All the medicine's gone. That's one of the biggest reasons is they definitely break rule number one. So now once you've abided by rule number one, rule number two, what you're going to acquire through the body's pace and through its own faucet of energetic fill up and investment, it will then guide you to then say, you've got more capacity, you can do more now. And it might be as symptoms resolve, it might be as tissues become more functional and the body feels more safe, and you will feel a shift where it's, holy shit, I can technically go faster, I can handle more, I could put more on my plate, I could opt out more, I can take in more, I can choose more. Okay. Then at this point, what you want to do, and this is the part that nobody does past rule number one, you at this point throttle to a 6th gear. You go harder in all the forms of medicine that you discovered while going slow. You go even harder than you did before, the version of you that experienced symptoms or the injury, to take you to this level and take you to this understanding and take you beyond whatever that was. Here's where everybody goes. They might get through rule number one and be like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Everything, I can walk effectively, skin cleared up, digestion's this, hormones this, energy's this, libido, let's say you're measuring all that because you choose to. Sleep is better, I'm turned on, I'm all this, I'm stronger, I'm more able, I'm more confident. All right. Then we just chill. Everything chills out. We do absolutely nothing. And what you ended up just bringing yourself back to was that person that has wisdom with less ability. And that is the other side of the coin in the world today. Of all those, because there's medicine in the tragedy, there's medicine in the accident, there's medicine in the breaks, there's medicine in the failures. As long as you survived it, there's massive medicine there. But like, once you get to that point, like, You feeling better? Well, now you throttle. Now you go. Now you go even harder, whether it was from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, chemical standpoint, vibrational standpoint, electric standpoint, nourishing standpoint, relational standpoint, reprogramming belief standpoint, feelings, thoughts, emotions, whatever, redesigning your habits, your morning and evening routines, completely redesigning your room, your house, your method, your job. You're changing how you're doing your job, position, how you're working in a relationship. You've gotten out of one. You stayed in one. Now you go harder. Why? Because you have the capacity to sustain it. And that's what ends up getting you to this place where you almost can't even remember the version you were before. You can't remember which limb was injured. You can't remember what it was like to be afraid. You can't remember what it was like to feel abandoned. You can't remember what it was like to abandon somebody. You can't remember what that was like to grieve like that. It's not forgetting, because that whole bullshit of just like, do everything to let it go. Just ball it up in your hand and just picture it like a ball of light, and you're just going to let it go. No, you're not going to let go of anything. It'll go away when your body's done using it. This whole delusion of, dissolving all this bullshit and just continuing, good luck with that. And you'll see how that's just keeping clothes in the dryer without the door open. You're just going to stand there like, I don't fucking know. I've dissolved as much as I could. I dissolved conflicts. I've dissolved traumas. I've dissolved. No. The body will be done with it when you're done learning, and it feels so. But you never stop living the entire way. Life doesn't start once all this is done. But again, that rule number 2, nobody goes to that next gear. Nobody pushes in all aspects. Otherwise, that's the version of you prior to experience the thing, whatever it was. And you'll be back here because you just dumped yourself back on kind of a similar road. The road you were on before, but you're just like slightly off on the shoulder. I remember this road. Yeah. What you want is a completely unpaved road where you can only see whatever the step is ahead of you that you've blazed. And so that is the most common rule broken. Number 2 is nobody does the work once body gives you green light from going slow, from abiding by slow, obeying slow, doing the massive intense work while slow, and what you were to see while slow, and go back through developmental stages while slow, shedding what you think you should be and what you thought you were and what society thought you were, and everybody else. You were a good boy and good girl, and you did everything that they said of you. You went to this school, and you got married, and you bought a house, and you lived near your kids, and you did the country club, and you did this job, and you saved for this, and you did this, and then you discover you don't know who the fuck you are. Holy fucking shit. I'm not anything I want to be. Exactly. And now there's a shitload of people involved. So very scary. Gonna cost a lot. Gonna be slow. Maybe for years. That's okay. There's work to be done. Slow. In a bed, there's work to be done. Massively in a bed. Can only digest this. There's work to be done. Man, can only move this. You're going to be doing that. Can only handle this from a social standpoint. Can't travel. Yep. You heard me. If you saw, I had to go slow from a nutritional standpoint. I wasn't able to have movie popcorn for a year. So what? I could have been pissed and taken all this shit to hack my system so I could digest movie popcorn, but I needed to see what was here. I needed to obey the rules of nourishment for my body. And then when it said, gas it, floor it, we got it. All right, I'm going to go to the movie and have movie popcorn. Boom. And there we go. And then that's going to fluctuate moving forward. But that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, you're sitting pretty good. But it's the most common ones broken. And then the most common ones, the most common complaints are on the outset of breaking rule number 1, rule number 2. So completely your call. Rule number 1, with every symptom and every injury, no matter the grade, there will be a slowing. It might be hours, it might be years. It's going to be case by case, person to person, and no practitioner can tell you how long. Nobody has a protocol or algorithm for this, even you. Rule number 2 is once you've abided by being slow and gained back this ability and healed certain things and gone through and gained your investments, and your investments are panning out and your compound interest account's filling up, like, whoa, now you're starting to sense you can go. Rule number 2 is don't stick back to going back to what you were prior to being slow. No, now you go hard. You triple, quadruple, times 100 everything. Go hard to lock this stuff in. Hard. I call it carving poetry in granite, right? So going slow would be kind of harvesting the granite, kind of polishing it up, maybe getting your tools ready, maybe etching a design of what you want to write and the font you're going to do it and how the stanzas are going to be laid out. Rule number 2 is floor throttling. That's when you carve deep into that granite, but there's still a beauty to it and there's still a grace to it because there's a font and it's artistic and it's beautiful and it's smooth, and the words, they're poetic and loving and fucking savage and everything all at the same time. So rule number 1, rule number 2, review them. Columbia River right over my shoulder. The gorge is right down that way, about 18 miles. See you soon, Dave Matthews. Boom.